Hey, and welcome back to my channel. It's Ashley here, and if you are new, hey girl, hey. So in this video today, I'm just going to be sharing how you can plank any furniture top. So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is, of course, measure out your boards and mark them where you need to cut. So most of the time what I do is I just lay my boards on top and then I mark where they need to be cut. But if you don't want to do it this way and you want to use your measuring tape, you can go ahead and use your measuring tape. Just measure out your top, then measure out your piece of wood. Just always make sure you measure twice before you actually make that first cut. All right, so after you have marked your piece of wood, the next thing that you're going to need to do is, if you have a miter saw, cut down your pieces. And if you don't have a miter saw, just take those measurements that you got from your piece and take it to Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever you're gonna buy your wood from, and they will cut it for you as long as it is a straight cut. Okay, so after you've gotten your pieces all nicely cut out, the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is sand. So when I'm sanding, I like to just round out my edges and then sand smooth the tops. So depending on what type of wood you use and how rough your surface is at the top, depends on the type of sandpaper you're going to use. I'm talking about the grit. So you can go from a coarser grit to a finer grit. And if you have a rougher piece of wood, of course, you're gonna wanna start with that coarser grit and then work your way down to the finer grit to get that smooth finish. Okay, so after you are done sanding, the next thing that you're gonna want to do is add your finish on there. So I'm going to be staining, but you can stain this, you can paint this, you can spray paint it, whatever you wanna do. That's what you're gonna wanna do next. So when you are applying the stain, you just wanna make sure that you are going in the direction of the wood grain. And that is the same thing that you're gonna wanna do as well when you are sanding your piece. Make sure that you're sanding the wood in the direction of the wood grain as well. Now comes the fun part, adding the wood to the top. And to do that, I'm gonna be using my nail gun, some wood glue, of course, nails, and my handy dandy wood clamps to attach the wood to the top. The first thing that you wanna do is make sure that you have the appropriate size nails. So take into consideration the thickness of your wood and the thickness of the top. And then you can also just push it up against each other just to make sure that you won't go all the way through, that the nail's not too long or it's not too short, just to be on the safe side before you actually start to nail these down. To start planking the top, the first thing you want to do is add wood glue. So you're going to add that wood glue to the bottom of your piece of wood, and you're going to take that piece of wood and you're going to place it on top of your piece of furniture. And then you're going to take your nail gun and you're going to nail this down onto your piece of furniture, and you're going to do this for each piece of wood. After you start with that first piece and you have wood clamps, all you're going to do, so that you can make sure that you don't have spaces in between each pieces of the wood, you're going to take your wood clamps and you're going to attach those, squeeze them together, and then nail that second or third or fourth piece to the top of your wood, so that it'll make sure that it is secured into place. And again, you will not have any gigantic gaps in between your pieces of wood. And don't think that you have to have a nail gun to attach boards to the top of your furniture, because you do not. I've literally done this so many different ways. I have done this with just gluing the boards to the top. You can also nail these to the top with wood screws. And if you don't want to nail them to the top, then you can nail these, you can take your nails and nail it underneath your piece of furniture so that you won't see the nails at all. There's tons of different ways you can do this, so do not think that you have to have a nail gun to apply wood to the top of your furniture. This next step is optional, but it does give a nice clean finish, and that is adding wood filler to your nail holes. All you do is add that wood filler in, sand it down, and then add the stain that you are using, and that is it. And the final step, of course, is sealing the piece, so you can use a polyurethane or a polycrylic to do that, and then that's it. So I just love planking furniture tops. It really brings in more character to the piece, and it's super simple to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you comment down below to let me know what you think. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, make sure you click on that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.